Hi, I'm Siobhan Cullen, and I'm a Title IX investigator with the Office of Equity and Diversity at Cal State University Northridge. I have been a lawyer for 12 years, and prior to that, worked in the nonprofit industry and as a certified middle school teacher. Our office does a number of things. We investigate claims of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, and claims of sexual misconduct, which fall under Title IX. We also provide referrals and resources and accommodations for students, staff, and faculty, as well as providing training to university groups and the university at large on all kinds of topics, including Title IX and sexual harassment and consent. So in summer 2018, I traveled to Puerto Rico to assist in hurricane recovery efforts. I learned how to use a circular saw. I learned how to manage a team and in the middle of a place I'd never been. And I didn't quite conquer, but I definitely confronted my fear of heights. In addition, during that time, I worked on various campaigns through doing canvassing and phone banking. So these volunteer efforts, they really helped me to narrow my focus to determine what the next big steps in my life would be. So by working on the ground and with people, I realized I wanted to work more in direct services, not just for agencies or organizations, but to work with people. And I also wanted to support big systemic structural change in response to the inequity and the injustice that I was seeing and continue to see around me. So my first step was to work in domestic violence support services as a legal aid attorney. This was a really satisfying job for me. I enjoyed the work, I enjoyed the people. I did feel like I was really helping individuals to navigate complex and honestly frightening legal systems. It gave me a better understanding of a trauma-informed approach. So I learned, I didn't just serve, I learned on this job. However, I did feel like I was missing that systemic change part. So I started to look for positions where I could use my legal degree and my experience, not necessarily as a lawyer, but in a role where I could support a larger community. My father is a dean and my mother is a professor, so it made a lot of sense for me to look to the world of academia. And then when looking at institutions, I definitely looked for more diverse, larger campuses, places where there would be a lot of first generation college students, where there would be a large or at least a vocal LGBTQ plus community. A driving force of my career is helping my community. So naturally, these were important factors to me. Prior to this job, I was very lucky to find a firm where I was for 8 years that has a gay named partner and decent LGBTQ plus representation within the associate lawyers group. However, when I worked in domestic violence support services, I worked for a nonprofit where I was one of only 2 open LGBTQ plus employees out of over 45 people. And every person in a supervisory role was a cis presenting white male. So this was a difficult shift for me to go from a diverse and supportive environment to a supportive but not diverse environment. While I didn't feel any direct, discrimination in that nonprofit environment, I definitely did feel the absence of coworkers and colleagues who had a similar lived experience. I did feel the absence of that diversity of voices at the table. And so in looking for my next position, that was definitely something that was a major factor for me. In my position, I think I'm lucky to be able to be out and proud and to work on behalf of and alongside my LGBTQ plus community. So where possible, I think it is especially important for people in positions like mine to be out. There is still so much stigma around the reporting of sexual assault and stalking, intimate partner violence within LGBTQ plus community. And our community still needs so much support to make those big structural changes in legislation and in the way that agencies and organizations and government operate. So I want students, staff, and faculty to know that our office includes people of diverse backgrounds and people who will listen to them and hear them. And that includes people like me who have a similar lived experience, who are LGBTQ plus family. So in order to have that representation, I do feel like it is imperative for me to be out in my career and in the workplace. I've definitely run across a few heteronormative patriarchal standards, especially in the legal world, which is sort of one of those quintessential, male-dominated industries. Um, I have had judges mistake my male clients for the lawyer repeatedly. In fact, the same judge and the same client over and over. I once had someone rate me 1 star on a pretty good presentation because I wasn't wearing pantyhose. I've actually heard a rumor that you have to wear pantyhose in federal court, but I'm not sure what they would do if I didn't. Um, I didn't want to find out, so I just wore them. Once a consultant told us that if we were single women, then we should wear a fake ring on our left hand because studies show that juries listen less to women without wedding rings because they are too distracted wondering why the women weren't married. So I solved that by wearing rings on all of my fingers. Kind of became known for the noises my rings would make when I was clapping my hands together. So I continue to see these things, both big things and small things in the workplace. And they bother me. They always have bothered me. Early on, the advice that I would get was, you know, put your head down, do your best work, don't let them get you down. And over time, with experience and with confidence, what I realized was you can, in fact, do your best work and keep your head up and stand up where you see unjust things and question and push back. Ask why. Why would why did you rate me a 1 star? What could I have done better substantively? And having that voice it took time, but it's something that I definitely consciously and affirmatively developed throughout my career. The biggest impact that COVID-19 crisis has had on my work is that our work in particular is very student and staff and community centric. So being on campus is so important to us in that we have people walking into our office. We are, meeting with students all the time. We are connecting different departments. We are organizing and really facilitating and collaborating most of the time. So that has been a difficult transition. I definitely miss the students. I miss our team, and I miss the energy of CSUN. I miss the duck pond, to be honest. Just those little kind of oases of calm and positive energy that I've been able to build even in a short time in the workplace. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of this. Please, everybody, stay safe during this time. And when we do get back to campus, please come by and say hello. I'd love to meet all of you. Or in the interim, definitely reach out via email if you have any questions or if I can support you all in any way during this time. Thanks. Bye.